This is the Martini Mortgage Podcast with Kevin Martini.
I am Kevin Martini, and this is the 56th episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast. Welcome, and thank you for tuning in. I'm calling this episode, It's Coming, Recession. Oh my, what a title. You may think a recession is a bad thing, and I can see why one would feel that way. However, headlines do not tell the whole story. Let me share my personal thoughts and opinions. Listen, a recession is going to happen. In fact, according to Realtor.com, 70%, so that's 7 out of 10 people, 7 out of 10 active home shoppers believe that a recession will happen in the next 3 years. In fact, 30% believe that it will happen in 2020. Here's the reality. I have no idea when it's going to happen. I know it will happen because a recession is part of a normal economic cycle. However, a recession does not mean housing crisis. Recession does not mean a copy of what happened in 2008, and one can argue that the next recession may happen and be over before anyone even knew it happened. Right now, the economy is doing super well. You know what else is doing super well? Housing is doing super well. More on that in a little bit. To be totally transparent, I am simply amazed that home loan rates are where they are with the current economy. They are where they are because inflation has not reared its ugly head. Now, this is a national mortgage podcast. However, the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage is located in the capital city of North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, and we help families all over the great state of North Carolina. If you ever wonder why our initials are NC, it's because nothing compares. I help families from the mountains to the coast. Now, speaking of the coast, let's assume that you want to go to the beach and you live in Raleigh. You hop in the car and head east on I-40. Now, it will take you a couple of hours at the posted speed limit. The speed limit is 70 miles per hour. Now, if you're kind of like me, from time to time, I may exceed that speed limit and perhaps I will be a little bit over 80 miles an hour. Now, why the heck am I sharing this? You see, me in the speeding car is kind of like the current economy. The U.S. economy is going over the speed limit. So it's like driving over the speed limit, and we are going fast. Now, a recession is like seeing a police officer on the road trip to the beach. You hit the brakes and you go from 84 miles an hour to the speed limit of 70 miles per hour. When you do this, it seems like you're not going fast at all. Well, you're not, since you're not doing 84. However, you're doing 70, and 70 is still pretty fast. This is my opinion of what is going to happen, not if there is a recession, but when there is one. We simply will not be going as fast as we have, but we will still be moving at a fast pace. Does that make sense? The last 5 major recessions were in 1980, 1981, 1991, 2001, and 2008. Now, there are many factors that made the 2008 recession atypical, and a ton of people were impacted negatively during the Great Recession of 2008. I believe because that is why when Realtor.com surveyed several folks and asked the question, will the U.S. economy market fare better or worse than the 2000 economic recession? 59% said it would be the same or worse. and 41% said it would be better. Listen, the Great Recession was painful. Lots of good people were hurt because of some bad actors. Safeguards have been implemented to prevent this from happening, so it is critical that one understands that a recession does not mean a housing crisis. Let me say it one more time. Recession does not mean housing crisis. So let's take the recession of 2008 out of the equation. Then 3 out of the last 4 recession housing values increased. In the recession of 1991, they went down only 1.9%. In 1980, they went up 6.1%. In 1981, they went up 3.5%. And in 2001, they went up 6.6%. There are many reasons to own a home, and in the 46th episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, I talked about 5 financial reasons to own a home. One of the 5 financial reasons is that home ownership is a hedge against inflation. You see, typically, with a recession, there's inflation. And again, owning a home is a hedge against inflation. If you want to buy a home and get a mortgage, but are concerned about the recession is coming and you fear it's going to be as bad as 2008, with respect, it is my personal opinion you are incorrect. If you feel that it has been too long since the last recession, so when the next one comes, it's going to be very big and bad, with respect, in my opinion, you are incorrect. Oh, listen, when it comes, it will feel like we have slowed down. Again, back to my example. If you're going 84 miles an hour on the superhighway and you throttle down to 70, which is the speed limit, it feels like you're not going as fast. However, you are still going fast because you're doing the speed limit at 70. In closing, I believe that homeownership matters. I believe that homeownership is on the path to wealth creation. I do not care what you do or where you live. I know that everyone needs a roof over their head, and I think they should own that roof, not rent it. Today, home loan rates are epic. I found that people overestimate the amount of credit that they need or what their score needs to be. I have found that they overestimate the amount of down payment needed too. These 2 things, along with recession fears, may be stopping you or someone you know from buying a home and getting a piece of the American pie. For this reason, you need to consult with a trusted and experienced mortgage strategist. It should always be loan first, home second. If you are in the Triangle of North Carolina or anywhere in North Carolina for that matter, I and the entire Martini Mortgage Group are here to help. Just give us a jingle at 919-238-4934. Every season, Logan Martini and myself produce an ebook that simply and effectively communicates the current market opportunity. You can get instant access to this ebook, which is called Things to Consider When Buying a Home, by going to www.martinibuyerguide.com. Do not be fooled. Just because this is free, it's packed with priceless information you will need to know about buying real estate and getting a mortgage. Again, it's available by going to www.martinibuyerguide.com. Thank you for tuning in to the 56th episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast. And remember, it does not matter how big the house is. All that matters is how happy the home is.
The Martini Mortgage Group makes real estate dreams a reality with trusted advice in a stress-free environment with great rates and on-time closings while providing a world-class experience. If you or someone you know has questions about the current mortgage rates or the current mortgage programs, please reach out to the Martini Mortgage Group at 919-238-4934. The information contained in this podcast presentation is for general product information purposes only. Arklatex Financial Services, LLC, NMLS number 2143, doing business as Benchmark Mortgage, makes no representations or warranties of any kind expressed or implied about the completeness, reliability, suitability, or availability with respect to the information, products, or services. All loans subject to borrower qualifying. Other restrictions may apply. Branch Manager Kevin Martini, NMLS number 143962. Branch located at 5650 Six Forks Road, Suite 101, Raleigh, North Carolina 27609. Contact the branch by calling 919-238-4934. Equal housing opportunity.